Hey everybody, what's going on? Hexlex here, got another Master Duel video for you all, and I'm pretty excited because today I have yet another guest with me. I once again have an MCS finalist, this one from week 3. We're going to be featuring the very interesting and very, honestly, cool deck that we're looking at right here. Yeah, welcome on, Zeke.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be on here. I'm really excited to talk about the deck. This past weekend was super fun, so I'm ready to just geek about the deck with you.
Yeah, right on. No, I'm definitely eager to geek about this deck, and congrats again on that top 8 finish. So
thank you.
So Tri-Brigade is definitely gotta be my favorite archetype, probably alongside Heroes. So when of course this new selection pack came out, I, like everyone else, was like, oh, let's try Tri-Sprite. But you decided to go a different route with the new support in terms of blending it with Tri-Brigade. So we have a Tri-Brigade P.U.N.K deck, and I've got your list from Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck pulled up here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what made you want to blend the P.U.N.K engine in particular with Tri-Brigade?
So in the TCG, I initially planned to play this, and unfortunately missed that opportunity due to the lovely cost of cardboard and ban lists coming out.
Yep.
Because everyone's favorite card, Chaos Ruler, got very much banned in the TCG.
Yep.
But we do have him here, and I just want to say shout outs to Miguel Soto, I believe is his name, who is a very successful Tri-Brigade player in the TCG over the past few years, whose original deck list from almost 8 months ago is what inspired me to first try out this art, mixing these two, because it really just comes down to the simplest form that it's really easy for P.U.N.K to make a Chaos Ruler, and the Chaos Ruler helps you just dig for almost any of the Tri-Brigade names. And if he doesn't get it, then we get to then easily climb into or overlay into the Zombie Vampire, which gets us to mill for more. And it lets us know what deck the opponent's playing. So in especially best of one Swiss, it's really useful. And it allows me to I can just go crazy with this deck. The lines, even this past weekend, I personally, again, I love Tri-Brigade as well. I messaged this to you the other day, but when I was just getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! With Master Duel's release, I watched a ton of your Tri-Brigade videos, and they absolutely were fantastic. So if anyone's listening and you want to learn about Tri-Brigade, check out Hexlex's videos about Tri-Brigade. Of course. But mainly it is just it's like a supplementary engine that not only lets me go into Chaos Ruler, but it allows me to play Naturia Beast. And this was the big one that besides just how do I make Tri-Brigade more consistent, it was how do I beat Runic for free? Ironically enough, I lost in top 8 because I got unlucky with my hands, but that's just how it goes,
Right.
But it really was a big thing in testing. I want to give shoutouts to Mecha, and I believe their name is Pen Ultimate, or they go by Mark. They tested with me a ton when doing this, and it was different versions of Sprite, and as well as Runic, just to really see does this work? And it absolutely does. And even now post this turn, I'm continuing to build on this, and it will be even easier for me to beat that deck.
Right on.
Yeah. And then the secret spice, I guess, and this was something I got to show on stream, which was awesome, is Psychic and Punisher.
Yes,
it's very good.
Yeah, another new release actually from this latest selection pack to hugely boost this deck.
Yes, it's probably one of my favorite cards of all time, to be honest with you. And one of the reasons I really like playing the Psychic and Punisher is Runic doesn't really, even with Sprite, I never really got OTK'd by it. It was pretty rare, because a lot of times they would skip their battle phase, or they would occasionally just get a little poke in with Gigantic or something like that. And on top of that, with the P.U.N.Ks, if there's any sort of if we're going out for a little bit, whether I crash things or I just use Xiamen 2 or 3 times, I will be able to get a lot of attack points with it and just walk over people. On top of him being a towers.
Right. That's the part I always forget is that like on top of being
Mm-hmm.
just insanely huge, it's also like insanely insulated as far as its protection goes.
Yep. As long as you have less life points, he is a towers, and then he has a removal option as well that you can use in the main phase. And then once you enter battle phase, it's just basically there's nothing they can do about it.
Right on. Yeah, it seems like a huge threat. So from what I gather, the idea is that we're using Chaos Ruler and Zombie Vampire to kind of kickstart our combos by milling a bunch of cards and hitting our Tri-Brigade names. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah. And the big thing too is that if I hit it with Chaos Ruler, I get to search or continue to send them and then add to my hand with like the Karos or a Fractal, depending on like the context, or even just one of the names I haven't used yet for the banish effect. Or if I don't hit any of them, I get to try again with Zombie Vampire. And if I hit one, then I get to also special summon it, which is really awesome. Because then it's just, I still haven't used my normal summon. So if I get E-Telly, I get to go through the whole P.U.N.K line. Then I get to do Zombie Vampire, if that's all uninterrupted. Then I still haven't used my normal summon in any capacity.
Yeah, it seems, I'm just looking at the list here. It seems like there's a lot of ways that you can just, do, like you said, your full combo without even having to commit your normal summon. Then the Naturia Beast looks like we're making that with Ziamine plus Karos typically, is that right?
That's correct. Yep, that is the only way to make it in the deck, but thankfully they're both very easy to get out onto the board.
You never like E-Tellied for Ziamine and the normal summon like a Max C?
You know what? I haven't even thought about that, but you could totally do that, yeah. I've definitely had opportunities that I could have done that. That's actually funny. I don't know why. That little insect I just try not to think about him too much. You know?
Right. Well, I think it's my Sprite experience that got me thinking about using it as a material. But this is an awesome list. I am pretty eager to I'm mostly thinking about testing it myself. I don't know if I'm going to use it in the tournament, but I'm definitely going to be playing around with it. I think.
Oh, dude. I heavily recommend just giving it a shot. It's a very fun deck, especially with the inclusion of Sprite Elf, which a lot of people in the TCG did not actually play with Sprite Elf. And oh my god, dude. I don't remember exactly what the line was, but I can't tell you what I did, but one of my buddies was watching me play at the time, and just in my ear while I'm just going through the motions, he just goes, dude, you're so sick at this game. When did you see that opportunity? And I blew my own mind so many times with this deck. It is so much fun. There's so many little opportunities, and sure, sometimes it's just go through the motions, play Naturia Beast. The whole kicker of where it's really good, especially against Sprite Runic, or even just Sprite in general, is that the usual end board involves Naturia Beast plus double Dragon Lord or a Appaloosa. The double Dragon Lord is especially very good because if it's not normal Sprite, which is pretty unpopular right now, because what is the card that they're missing called again?
Sprint, are you talking about the Link 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have that yet, so a lot of people aren't really playing pure Sprite. They're really leaning on the Runic Sprite or Twin Sprite or any sort of combination of that, which personally I think pure Sprite is way better once we get that card. But because of that, it's really easy for me to go, okay, you want a normal summon a level 2? Well, now I bounce it. And then they go, oh, pass. That's it. And with Runic, I can't do that to them, but I have Naturia Beast, and I can just negate every single spell card they play.
Yeah, being able to hit that level 2 is super important in this meta, because, if you see a random level 2 monster being summoned, you can be assured that a Sprite monster is going to follow it.
Yep, exactly. So I can just immediately pull the trigger and just bounce back. The only normal summon that really gets around it is the Nimble Beaver, I think is what it's called.
Right,
That's the only one, but that's why I play Imperm and Droplet in the deck, so that I can easily punish that. Or if I have to, I have the triple Maxi or the Ash Blossom as well. So I have the full lineup, and that was the thought process behind this, basically.
Gotcha. Right on. Yeah. So let's see. I'm just looking over the list here. So it looks like Droplet was your kind of board breaker card of choice here. Seems like a very good call this format.
Oh, it's so good. Especially in this deck where I just spam the field with things, I always have fodder with it. Right, yeah. And it's like Tri-Brigade, you're never sad sending a Kid or a Nerval or something off for the Forbidden Droplet. Yeah, right on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how the tournament went for you? What were your Swiss rounds like? Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't write them all down, but I'll tell you what I do remember. Yeah, go for it. So round 1 was actual comedy, and I personally apologize to this person because I should not have won this game. So I lost. Oh, for the record, I will say the first half of all my games, I lost my coin tosses. I will say like at the first 4 games, I believe I lost every coin toss.
Oh wow.
So I lose the first coin toss, and it's heroes, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna make Dark Claw, and like I'm like thinking about it, and I look at my hand and I go, oh my god, I opened my Nibiru.
Oh,
and I'm like, no
you?
way. I opened my one Nibiru, and so many people gave me flack about the Nibiru, and I was like, it's because I know in early rounds I'm gonna play some wacky stuff. There's just gonna be some weirdo decks that are gonna show up, and I'll explain why I was right about this as we continue. But heroes go, they do their combo. I Nibiru, he pops his own DPE, draw phase. I draw called by. And I go, oh my god, I did not just Nibiru called by this random hero player who has 1 card set and 1 card in their hand. And that's it. And that was all she wrote. And then, I just played the game and I won, right?
Yep, sounds about right.
Oh my god, I felt so bad. I opened the poor guy's stream and him and his buddy are talking. He's like, yeah, sometimes you just, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, that's the right answer, yeah. And I was like, bro, I am so sorry. Like, I would love to play you again sometime. I was like, and for reference, I love Heroes as well. Heroes is one of my favorite decks.
Yeah.
And I have been there. 2 called by in this game is rough, and it is the reason I do not play Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real funny. So that happened. Round 2. Oh, round 2. I don't think it was anything like substantial. I don't really remember it. I think I just won. It was probably just like some sort of sprite variant that I just played against. Then round 3, I lost to a Sword Soul player. Sometimes karma comes around, and you play against someone who opens Sword Soul Emergence, Potted Desires, Crossout Designator, Ash Blossom, and Infinite Impermanence. And then you just lose,
Yep,
it happens, right? It happens. And even he, Karma, right? He was like, bro, I'm sorry. And I'm like, that's Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
So that happened, and I was like, okay, that's fine. 2-1. I can still make it, right? For reference, I entered the previous week, but I played Sky Striker. I played Blind Second Sky Striker, and I can show you that list later.
Oh, right on, yeah.
But, so I was like, okay, next game. Somehow, some way, my round 4, I played against Sue Ship. And I don't know how this guy won twice.
I remember. Yeah, I remember in general. I was just gonna say no. I remember in general chat, someone was talking about. Someone was saying ships, and for some reason, like my brain just assumed they were talking about like Legend Anthology games, even though we were in the tournament. And I was like, wait, no,
I had the same thought. Yeah.
So yeah, no, go ahead. You played against Sue ships.
I don't think that deck does anything. I don't think I've ever lost to that deck in my life. And sure, Karma will get me on that one. But, it's one of those decks. There are a couple decks in this game that it's like they look like they're really cool and they're doing things, but like nothing actually comes of it. Like another great example of that is like Valence. They look so cool, they do all this, and then they make nothing.
Right.
They do nothing, and it's so funny when you play them because you're like, all right, yep, negate, and they're like, all right, pass, like your turn, I guess. And it's just, it's so funny. And I was just so caught off guard. I was like, what is happening right now? And there was a little back and forth. Like, it was still funny. And I won, but I was like, oh my god, if there's the universe where I lose to Sue Ships round 4 is Swiss, like, what is happening? How am I playing someone 2-1 with Sue Ships? What is going on? So I played that. And then I was like, okay, we made it over. Like, that's the halfway point. Like, this is where things make more sense now.
Right.
Because I'm going to play the meta decks, right? I think round 2 I played a Math Mech. I think that's what it was.
Oh, gotcha, right on.
I don't really mind Math Mech. I usually just make Psychic Punisher, and then I hit them, and then they die. I also play a lot of hand traps, so it's really hard for them to get a lot going. And I banish a lot of their cards because of Called By, because of Shureg, and Maxi makes them feel bad.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those decks. So I think after that, it was just pretty much just like a combination of... I had one game, made a Cherry Beast, guy just scooped. I literally didn't even see him play a card.
Oh, really?
He probably was playing Runic Sprite. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's the honest to God, that's the right thing to do. Because the way that this deck works is if I make it and I put the Naturi Beast and the Double Dragon Lord in the Sprite Elf arrows, you can't impermanent.
Yep.
So the only out is droplet. And no, for some reason, none of these guys are playing droplet. I have no idea why. Or if they did, they just never drew it. And then nobody opened a lava golem versus me, so that was cool.
That's nice. It's very nice.
You know? Yeah. And then it was just last round. What did I play against? It was another one of the top 16 people I played against, and I don't remember what they're playing. I think it was just a sprite variant. Just got unlucky. Made some misplays. It was a really, really close game. I think it was I was 300 life points off killing him kind of game.
Yeah.
Bummer. Oh yeah, I had a game where it was the first game in all my playtesting where I was like, oh my god, I want the second Fairy Sheet. It has never happened to me in my entire life playing this deck. And it was the first time I was like, no way.
Oh no.
And I couldn't make access code without it. So I was like, that's GG. I lose. And that's okay, that happens. And now it's now in my deck again.
I've encountered Schrodinger's Farigite a lot in testing Tri-Brigade. It seems like once you have 2 copies, it never comes up, and then you take it out, and then it just comes right up. I've definitely encountered that myself.
Yep. So that happened. That was funny. That was a good trip, you know?
Yeah.
So overall, Swiss was pretty good. I felt very prepared overall, and it was good fun. Everybody was really nice. That's really been the big thing, is just everyone was really cool. There's only one person who I beat, and I think it was the guy who insta-scooped, who was pretty pissed. But you know what, I get it. Naturia Beast isn't fun, and that's fine.
Yeah. Right on. So yeah, it sounds like your Swiss went pretty much according to your deck's plan. Yeah, so why don't, before we talk about Top Cut, tell me a little bit about your side deck and how far ahead had you prepared this? Because I know there's been a couple of times, last week included, where I am very much scrounging my side deck together the day before and sometimes of the tournament.
I had 3 minutes to make this. I forgot to make it beforehand, and it is awful. I forgot to put Eradicator in there. I was supposed to do that because I use Zombie Vampire.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or Chaos Ruler, because I can bring it back and then do it. So that was probably the biggest mistake I made. I forgot Droll Lockbird was a card. So that was fun too. It was very much as me, I was so anxious that I just forgot. And I should have, going forward, I'm going to be submitting them at the same time, so that I'm this is what I want to do, or having one prepared, and then for some reason they let us change it before top 16, which I heavily disagree with. But that's fine. I just know that eventually someone's gonna bring a Lancia for me, and I'm gonna be all right, GG, you got it. That's cool. But that's the way she goes, you know.
Right.
The rest of it was very much just I am gonna board most of this in when I play against Runic Sprite. That was basically it, because I was just about everybody here is this, and then I knew that the Sword Soul guy that I lost to actually made it there, so I put the second Nibiru in there just in case for him.
Yeah, right.
And that's about it. It was pretty much brain rot, just panic, I gotta make a side deck kind of thing.
No, it's all good. I very much had a similar experience in week 2 when I was realized oh, I'm about to top. Oh, I need a side deck, and it's okay, just jam some lightning storms and dimensional barriers. That's what I did.
What could go wrong, right? Right. Well, now you know what we can do next time when one of us makes it, or if we both make it, we can remind each other, hey, you got a side deck?
Yeah,
we're good. We're good, right?
Yeah, definitely. Right on. So
Perfect.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about the Top Cut matches and how those went for you.
So I was very lucky. I got to replay the Sword Soul player in my first game of top 16.
Oh, okay, right on.
Which is weird, as that doesn't usually happen, but I was sure. And so I've competed in a lot of games and in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot over the years. For reference, I played competitively from Dark Arm Dragon release all the way till the last deck that I competed with was Clyfort Tower Turbo.
Oh, right on.
And then when that happened, and Necroz and Lynx came out, and I was I'm gonna take a step back from Yu-Gi-Oh! Life and being an adult and all that stuff, right? But I competed a lot through high school. So I'm very familiar with 2 out of 3s. I was very comfortable, and I was all right, this is gonna be a lot better. I also was playing someone that I was like, I was very much, and this is no shots at somebody in any capacity. I was like, you are a Master Duel player, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm a returning player who's playing a lot of Master Duel, but I can see that they weren't super comfortable in 2 out of 3s, and they also weren't super comfortable with their deck, and like a lot of the lines they were taking was like really strange compared to like what I was saying, and it wasn't more like innovative, but more like it seemed like nervous decisions and stuff like that. And so Swiss was a little nervous for me because of best of 1, and it's not something I'm comfortable with. But once I hit that top cut, I was like, I'm cool. Except I won game 1, and then game 2, I forgot to choose my deck with decided in stuff.
Oh no! Oh no!
But the game was so close, it gave me such immense confidence that I was like, I'm gonna beat you in game 3, and I absolutely destroyed them in game 3, and that felt so good, because I was like, I know I can beat you, and there's not me being like, oh, I'm better than this guy or blah blah blah.
Right.
It's just like I was like, I know I am confident enough to beat you as a player, and I know how to play around your deck, and that means that I'm cool. I don't like to stress out. So that went really well. Then I played against, what was their name? Kuribo was their name, and they were playing Runic Sprite. And I proceeded to open the unluckiest hands ever.
Oh no!
While they proceeded to open double hand trap both games. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah,
you know?
that'll do it.
They were really good. They always hit my Xiamen. And that's the right thing to do. And I just didn't have enough gas in both games, and that's okay. Like, you know, sometimes you open the triple tack and sometimes you don't.
Right.
What are they called by?
Right. Yeah, right. So when you say they hit your Z, I mean, you mean they like negated and destroyed it, like just.
Usually it's just imperming it or ashing it. Because if I get like the unlucky hand is if I have to normal summon Xiamen and then I only have a Keros. Because what I would do is, going first, I would normal the Xiamen, search the Foxy, and then use that to pitch for Keros. But if if I don't get the E-Telly, and I have to normal the Xiamen and they hit that, that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Gotcha. I see. Yeah, I can definitely see how that would that would definitely put a damper in the plays there. So, right on. So moving forward, what changes do you think you would make with the build? I know you said you did put the second Farigide in.
Yes, I can actually send you the updated one right now for this version, but I'm actually planning to play a new version of the deck that I will absolutely show you.
Oh, right on.
So here is like the pure Tri-Punk right here. So I took out the field spell, and what did I put in? I don't remember what I put in. Oh god, I'm having a moment. I took it out. I might have just taken it out.
Is it the talents? Were the talents in the other main deck, the triple tactics talents?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Do you have a link for the YGO?
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Yeah, I actually don't remember what my deck is because I already overwritten it, so I don't remember what it was.
It's all good, no worries. Yeah, it looks like it was the talents here, and then I don't see the field spell in this other.
Yeah, so the field spell I was playing. It was really fun, like testing. I really liked it. Yeah, I put the talents and that's what it was. Because I played 40. So I took that out and I put both the talents into the main deck. And then I replaced the Jam Dragon with the second Farigide. And I believe that was it.
Gotcha, I see. So, right on. Okay, so the triple tactics talents, I know I've been liking those a lot in this format. Were you missing those during the tournament, or is that something that you have only recently started testing?
I've been a believer in triple tactics for a super long time. I love this card. I think it's always been good in Master Duel because Maxi exists. And until this format, everybody Maxied waited for you to do something and then Maxied. So it was always live. I've always been like a proponent of like playing 1 or 2. In testing, it just didn't really happen a lot. But I think that mainly came to having played against more just Runic Sprite and not like enough pure Sprite and stuff like that, where it actually happens a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. No, I'm definitely one of those people who slept on talents for so long. I will freely admit I didn't even craft my playset until after Sprites came out. But now that I've been playing it, I'm like, why wasn't I playing this card sooner?
This card's busted.
It's disgusting. Because like most of the time you trigger it, it's not even off of a Sprite Elf. It is off of a Maxi, as you said, like, or just some other kind of disruption that people were already playing.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. No, and I think everybody except one person was main decking Maxi. In the top 16, and so it was just like my deck, it's like I'm gonna get Max Seed. I'm gonna get Ash Blossom. It's going to happen, and that's why triple tag's in the deck. That was really the big reason behind it. And that was basically it. It's just the card's just insane when we're in formats where it's like people are just spamming hand traps and
Right.
effects that are on the board, like monster effects. Just it's gonna come up, right? And that's about it. I love this deck. The hardest part about it is just when you don't find the P.U.N.K, you're playing Tri-Brigade, and Tri-Brigade's not bad, but sometimes it's not enough.
Right, it feels a lot more fair nowadays than it did
So close.
like a year ago.
Oh, right? Yeah, no. Oh my god, dude. Tri-Zoo? Nuts.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, everyone always calls like the pre-Sword Soul meta of Master Duel. Everyone nowadays calls it Drytron meta, and I'm like, that is so disrespectful to Tri-Brigade, which was definitely the best deck at the time, in my opinion anyway.
Yep.
I just think
No,
people
see,
were
the mistake was people sitting and watching the Drytron players play. No, all you had to do was just scoop and go to the next game, and you find the Tri-Brigade player.
right.
All you had to do, you see that first Drytron card come out, you go, all right, peace, bro. Like, I'm not doing this. It's not worth the points. I'll get another one in.
That's definitely something I should have done a lot more.
Oh, trust me. After the fourth time I got up to make food and come back, I realized I just needed to do something else and just move to the next game.
I think I've done that before, actually, playing against Drytron back then. I definitely remember at least one instance of like going to the kitchen and getting a snack and coming back and be like, oh, their herald's not on the board yet.
Dude, I have a distinct memory where my friend was like, there's no way you can make a meal in this time. And I said, okay. And I made glass grilled cheese in the time it took him to do his turn, and I started eating it.
Oh, I definitely. Oh, yeah, because that's when the timer was like a lot higher,
Yep.
too. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yep. That was
good
it. All I
times.
did was I asked my partner, I was like, hey, sit here and just wiggle my mouse. And I'll be back.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it. No hand traps? All right, peace. I'll be back.
Oh, my God. That's great. Oh, good stuff. Well, right on. Yeah, no, thanks so much for coming on and talking about this deck. This is, like, seriously probably the coolest deck I've seen in like, I couldn't even tell you how long. Thank you very much for coming on and talking about it and just bringing us this wonderful invention. I know a lot of people who watch my videos are also like huge Tri-Brigade fans, so I think they're gonna like this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will say though, to all of you watching, play this deck now. Because in 2 months when we eventually get tier limits, they are going to ban Chaos Ruler. So go play the deck now because it's not staying. There is no shot Chaos Ruler is staying. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think this card's days are probably numbered, if I had to guess.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, we're right on. Thank you again for coming on. Is there anything you wanted to plug as far as like socials or anything? Feel free, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you are interested in seeing me play some more Yu-Gi-Oh, I do stream it on the occasion on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Zeke here, Zekehere. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Paradise Desu with 2 U's. And if you like Smash Bros, I also play a lot of that. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Right on. Yeah, and I'll make sure to include those links in the description below as well. So
thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem at all. Thank you again so much for coming on. Yeah, I think without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and move on to our outro. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the very end of the video like this. That means a whole lot to me. Not just personally, but it's also a great way of supporting the channel as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other means, you can of course feel free to comment and or subscribe right here on YouTube. I'm always looking to the comments section. You guys leave some pretty awesome feedback as far as like constructive criticism goes when it comes to deck building, gameplay, channel content, all that stuff. So feel free to leave your opinion down there. I will be sure to take a look at that there. And then subscribing is going to be the best way to get notifications of when these videos drop. That does happen every day, by the way, so if you're looking for daily Master Duel content, you've come to the right place. And there are more places where you can get some daily Master Duel content. If you check out the description below, follow the top link over to my Patreon page. There, for just $5 a month, which is as much as you pay for a booster pack, you'll find a lot more value than a pack full of filler over there. We've got some previews for content upcoming here on the channel. We've got some exclusive games that are only posted over on Patreon over there. we've got some Q&As, and then you can also have your name featured in this lovely credit sequence where I thank all of the people who are helping contribute over there on Patreon. It's a huge support to the channel, and it really means a lot as well. So thank you everyone who is donating that is featured here on screen. And again, you know, it's not just a pure donation, you do get some more daily Master Duel content over there just for being a part of the Patreon. But I think that's about all the time that I have for today's video. Once again, I just want to thank you so very much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. Again, it just means a lot, as I do put a decent amount of work into getting these videos out every single day. But that's about all the time that I've got for now, so without further ado, this is Xlex. I'm signing out, and I hope you have a fantastic day.